I lost everything in the divorce: my wife, my daughter, my reputation. 8 years later, my daughter called me for the first time. I thought she wanted to reconnect. She just wanted my mom's money. So I tested her. I still remember the exact moment I realized my daughter had blocked my number. It was 3 weeks after the divorce was finalized, and I was sitting in my truck outside a construction site at lunch, staring at my phone. The text I'd sent that morning, just asking if she was okay, if we could talk, had that single gray check mark instead of two. Not delivered. I called. Straight to voicemail. Not the kind where it rings first. The kind where you've been blocked. I sat there for 20 minutes with a ham sandwich I never ate, watching concrete dust settle on my windshield, and I thought, this is it. This is what rock bottom feels like. That was 8 years ago. I'm 54 now, and I've had a long time to make peace with how things turned out. Or at least I thought I had. Let me back up. I need to explain how I got here, because what just happened this week has me questioning everything I thought I understood about my life. My marriage ended when I was 46. 23 years together, and it all came apart in about 6 months. My daughter was 20 at the time, old enough to make her own choices, old enough to pick sides. And she picked her mother without ever asking me a single question about what happened. I don't blame her for that part. Not really. Her mother was always the one who was there. I worked construction, long hours, early mornings, sometimes 6 days a week. My ex-wife was a stay-at-home mom for most of our marriage, and later she got a job at the local paper. Became kind of a minor celebrity in our town, writing these opinion pieces that everyone shared on Facebook. She had influence. She had time. She had our daughter's ear. When things fell apart, she used all of it. I'm not going to get into every detail of the divorce because, honestly, I've spent 8 years trying not to think about it. But the short version is this. I found out she'd been cheating on me. Not just once. Multiple times, multiple men, going back years. I found out completely by accident. Saw a text on her phone when she left it on the kitchen counter. Just a glimpse, but enough. I didn't handle it well. I should have confronted her immediately. Should have been calm and collected. Should have gone straight to a lawyer. Instead, I started drinking. Heavily. I'd come home from work and go through half a bottle of whiskey before bed. I picked fights with her constantly. I knew what she'd done, but I couldn't bring myself to just say it out loud. So instead, I'd make these passive-aggressive comments about where she'd been, who she'd been talking to. And yeah, I slept around too. If she could do it, why couldn't I? That's what I told myself, anyway. It was stupid. It nearly destroyed what was left of my life. We separated after about 3 months of that hell, but we were still living in the same town, still running into each other's friends, still having these terrible phone arguments that I'm sure the neighbors could hear through the walls. My daughter was away at college for most of this, but she'd come home on breaks and see me like that, drunk, angry, barely holding it together. I never told her what her mother had done. I wanted to. God, I wanted to. But every time I thought about it, I'd imagine how it would sound coming from me. This angry, drunk mess of a man trying to make his wife look bad. Would you believe me if I were her? I wouldn't have believed me. My ex-wife, on the other hand, had no problem telling her side. And her side was simple. Dad's a selfish asshole who only cares about himself. He's always worked too much, never been around. And now he's having some kind of midlife crisis breakdown and making everyone's life miserable. Look at him. Look at how he's acting. Would a good man act like this? My daughter believed her. Of course she did. The divorce was finalized about a year after I found out about the affairs. By that point, I'd stopped drinking, took every ounce of strength I had, but I did it, and I was trying to rebuild my life. The first thing I wanted to do was talk to my daughter. Apologize for how I'd acted. Explain what had actually happened. Ask her if we could start over. She wouldn't talk to me. I tried calling. Blocked. I tried texting. Blocked. I sent her a letter, an actual handwritten letter, and never got a response. I drove to her apartment once and knocked on the door. She opened it, saw it was me, and closed it without saying a word. The last message I got from her was through my ex-wife's lawyer. If I didn't stop harassing my daughter, they'd pursue a restraining order. So I stopped. What else could I do? I threw myself into work. I took care of my mom, who'd been diagnosed with Alzheimer's around the same time as the divorce. That became my entire life for the next few years. Work, then home to check on mom, then sleep, then repeat. I had a few casual relationships here and there, but nothing serious. I couldn't trust anyone enough to let them in. Every time I got close to someone, I'd think about my ex-wife and those texts on her phone, and I'd shut down. My mom passed away 3 months ago. Alzheimer's is cruel. By the end, she didn't know who I was. But in the early stages, she'd ask about my daughter constantly. When is she coming to visit? She'd say. I miss my granddaughter. Does she know I want to see her? I'd send my daughter messages about it. Years ago, when mom was first diagnosed, I told her that her grandmother was sick and wanted to meet before things got worse. I never got a response. The messages were never delivered. When mom died, I posted about it on Facebook. I'm not really active on there, but I figured people should know. I didn't expect much. A few condolences from old coworkers, maybe. I certainly didn't expect what happened next. 2 months after the funeral, I got a phone call from a number I didn't recognize. I almost didn't answer. I get a lot of spam calls, but something made me pick up. Hello. Hi. It's me. I didn't recognize the voice. It had been too long, but something in my chest tightened anyway. Who is this? It's your daughter. I sat down. I was standing in my kitchen making coffee, and I just sat down right there on the floor with my back against the cabinet. Hi, I said. Brilliant. 8 years of silence, and that's what I come up with. Hi. I saw on Facebook that Grandma passed away, she said. Her voice was shaky. Nervous. I wanted to check on you. See if you're okay. I didn't know what to say. Part of me wanted to scream at her. Do you have any idea what the last 8 years have been like? Do you know how many times I tried to reach you? But another part of me, the part that had been waiting for this call since the day she blocked me, just wanted to hear her voice. I'm managing, I said. Thank you for calling. I didn't think. I didn't know you still check my Facebook. I do. Sometimes. I never knew what to say. We talked for maybe 20 minutes. It was awkward, but not hostile. She asked how I was handling things. I asked about her life. She told me she was working as a graphic designer, that she was engaged, that things are going well. I told her I was proud of her. I meant it. Then she said something that made my heart skip. If you want to meet up in person, I'd like that. We could get dinner or something. Actually talk. I agreed immediately. Too quickly, probably. Made me sound desperate. But I didn't care. We made plans for that weekend. She'd come to my house. I'd cook. I spent the next 3 days in a daze. I cleaned my house top to bottom. I went to the grocery store and bought all the ingredients for her favorite meal, or at least what used to be her favorite meal when she was 12. I had no idea if she still liked lasagna. I made it anyway. I kept thinking, this is it. This is the moment everything changes. She's going to apologize. I'm going to apologize, and we're going to figure out how to be in each other's lives again. Saturday came. She knocked on the door at 6. When I opened it, I barely recognized her. She'd been 20 the last time I saw her. Now she was 28. Her hair was shorter. She'd lost weight. She looked like a stranger. But she smiled when she saw me. That was something. Hi, Dad. Dad. She called me Dad. I almost cried right there in the doorway. Dinner was awkward at first. We made small talk. How's work? How's the house? How's the weather? Safe topics. She complimented the lasagna. I asked about her fiancé. She showed me pictures on her phone. He seemed nice. I said so. After we ate, we moved to the living room. That's when things got real. I need to ask you something, I said. I've been holding it in all night. Why didn't you ever let me explain what happened? With the divorce. Why did you just pick her side without talking to me? She looked down at her hands. I was young, she said. I didn't think I needed to hear both sides. Mom was there every day. You were angry all the time. You were drinking. You were picking fights. From where I was standing, it seemed pretty clear who was in the wrong. Did she tell you why I was angry? She shook her head. She said you were having a midlife crisis, that you weren't happy with your life and you were taking it out on everyone around you. I laughed. It came out bitter. That's one way to put it. What's the other way? I told her. Everything. The affairs. The lies. How long it had been going on. How I found out. How I fell apart because I didn't know how to process it. How her mother used my breakdown to paint me as the villain. She listened. She didn't interrupt. When I finished, she was quiet for a long time. I didn't know, she said finally. She never told me any of that. I know. I want to tell you back then, but I didn't think you'd believe me. and I didn't want to put you in the middle of it. I wish you had. I wish I had too. We talked for another hour. She apologized. She said she regretted how things turned out, that she should have at least heard me out before cutting me off completely. She said her mom had manipulated her, made it seem like I was the one ruining the family. I believed her. I wanted to believe her. And she said something that made my stomach drop. There's something else I need to talk to you about. She looked uncomfortable, nervous. I told her she could tell me anything. I've been keeping tabs on you, she said, through Facebook. And when I saw that Grandma died, I thought lawyers would contact me. About her will. I blinked. What? Her inheritance. I thought I'd be in the will. When no one reached out, I figured maybe I should contact you directly. The room went cold. You're here about the inheritance? She backtracked immediately. No, that's not. I mean, that's part of it, but it's not the only reason. I wanted to reach out for a while. I needed a push. And I'm getting married soon, and we could really use some help with the costs, so I thought. You thought you'd come here, butter me up, and then ask for money. That's not fair. I genuinely wanted to reconnect. But yeah, I also need help. Is that so wrong? I felt like I'd been punched. For 8 years, I'd imagined this moment. My daughter coming back into my life. Apologizing. Wanting a relationship again. And here she was, sitting in my living room, and all she really wanted was a check. I kept my voice calm. How did you even know there was an inheritance? Grandma told me. Years ago, before the divorce. She said she wanted me to have everything when she died. She said I was the only grandchild, and it was important to her that I was taken care of. That sounded like something my mom would say. Back then, before everything fell apart, she probably did intend for my daughter to inherit. But things had changed. How much are you expecting? I asked. She named a figure. It was pretty close to the actual amount. Someone had done their homework. That's a good guess, I said. She looked hopeful. So you'll help me? I made a decision right then. I needed to know. I needed to know if she was really here for me, or if this was all about money. I'm sorry, I said, but there's a problem. Your grandmother left everything to me years ago. It's all in my name, and I'm planning to use it to start a business. I can't give you the inheritance. Her face fell. What? I'm sorry. I know that's not what you wanted to hear, but I can help you out with the wedding. I can give you a few $1,000s. Will that work? The disappointment on her face was all the answer I needed. A few thousand? She said. That's it. That's what I can afford to give you. But it's Grandma's money. She wanted me to have it. I'm her only grandchild. Don't I deserve at least some of it? It's not Grandma's money anymore. It's mine. She left it to me. She went red. Actually red. I could see the anger building. I should have known, she said. Mom was right about you. You're selfish. You've always been selfish. Excuse me. You heard me. This is exactly the kind of thing she said you do. Keep everything for yourself and screw everyone else. I looked at her with something close to disgust. You didn't come here to reconnect. You came here for money. I came here for both. But clearly you don't care about that. You just want to punish me for choosing Mom. If I wanted to punish you, I wouldn't have offered you anything. She stood up. A few $1,000s. Wow. Thanks so much, Dad. That's really generous of you. You didn't speak to me for 8 years. You blocked me. You ignored every message I sent. And now you show up asking for money and you're mad that I won't give you more. I was 20 years old. I was a kid. I didn't know any better. You're 28 now. You're not a kid anymore. You're an adult who made a choice to come here and manipulate me into giving you money. She looked like she wanted to hit me. Instead, she grabbed her purse. You know what? Mom was right. You were alone, and you deserve to be. That should have hurt. Maybe it would have if I hadn't already decided she wasn't worth my time. Get out, I said. Gladly. She stormed toward the door. Then she stopped. Turn around. You're really not going to help me. Not unless you're here because you actually want a relationship. And we both know that's not why you're here. She left, slammed the door hard enough to rattle the frame. I sat there on the couch for a long time after she was gone. I should have felt something, anger, sadness, regret. But mostly I just felt tired. Then I remembered something. I pulled out my phone and went to my text messages. Found a thread with her old number, the one that had been blocked for 8 years. I scrolled through the messages. Dozens of them, all undelivered. Hey, I know you're angry, but can we please talk? I miss you. I'm sorry for how I acted. I want to explain. Your grandma is sick. She has Alzheimer's. She's asking about you. Please, just let me know you're okay. I'd sent that last one 5 years ago, right before I gave up. I had an idea, a terrible, petty idea, but I couldn't help myself. I called her. She answered on the second ring. What? Unblock my old number. What? Just do it. She hung up. A minute later, my phone buzzed. A message from her, fine. It's unblocked. What do you want? I went back to the old thread. Found every message I'd sent over the years. And I forwarded them. All of them. Every single one. My phone rang almost immediately. What is this? She said. Her voice was shaking. Those are the messages I sent you after the divorce. The ones you never saw because you blocked me. Silence. You told Grandma you want to see her. You asked me to let you know when she got worse. You sent me updates about her doctor appointments. I did. You never responded. I never got them. I know. Because you blocked me. More silence. Then I didn't know. I know you didn't. But now you do. And now you know that if you hadn't blocked me, if you'd actually tried to hear my side of things, your grandmother would have left you everything. Because I would have made sure of it. But you didn't. You chose to shut me out. And now you get nothing. I hung up before she could respond. I felt sick. Not because of what I'd said. It was all true. But because I'd had this fantasy for 8 years that if she ever came back, we'd fix things. We'd be a family again. And now I knew we wouldn't. I talked to a few friends about it over the next few days. Most of them said I did the right thing, that she'd shown her true colors, that I deserved better. One of my closest friends disagreed. He said if I didn't care about the money anyway, why not just give her some? Why burn the bridge? I thought about that a lot. He wasn't wrong. I didn't care about the money. I've never been materialistic. I live in a modest house. I drive a 10-year-old truck. I buy my clothes from Target. I don't need my mom's inheritance. I have a successful business. I am comfortable. But it wasn't about the money. It was about the principle. It was about the fact that after 8 years, after everything, she only came back because she wanted something from me. And I'm not rewarding that. A week later, something else happened. I was getting ready to go out with some buddies when the doorbell rang. I wasn't expecting anyone, but I opened the door. And there she was, my ex-wife. I hadn't seen her in 8 years. She'd changed her hair, lost weight. It took me a second to even recognize her. But when I did, my stomach dropped. What are you doing here? Can I come in? She said. I need to talk to you. I almost said no. But I also didn't want her standing on my porch where the neighbors could see, so I let her in. It was surreal. The woman I'd been married to for 23 years, sitting in my living room like a stranger. Our daughter called me, she said. Of course she did. What did she tell you? That you refused to give her the inheritance. I didn't refuse. I told her there wasn't one. She raised an eyebrow. You lied to her? I tested her. And she failed. She sighed. Look, I know the divorce was hard. I know I hurt you. But you can't punish her for what happened between us. I laughed. Actually laughed. You're unbelievable. What? You cheated on me for years. You turned my daughter against me. You used your little newspaper column to trash my reputation all over town. And now you're sitting here telling me I'm the one punishing people. I'm not here to relitigate the past. I'm here because my daughter's upset, and I think you're being unfair. She only reached out to me because she wanted money. She admitted it. If there was no inheritance, she wouldn't have called. She's 28 years old. She's getting married. She needs help. Then you help her. I don't have that kind of money. Not my problem. She looked at me like I was a monster. When did you get so cold? About 8 years ago. You might remember. It was around the time you destroyed my life. She stood up. Fina, if that's how you feel, that's how I feel. She walked to the door. Then she stopped. For what it's worth, I am sorry. I know I hurt you, but she didn't deserve to be caught in the middle of it. You're right. She didn't. But you put her there anyway. And she chose to stay. She left. I sat on the couch and stared at the wall for a long time. I felt like I was drowning. In memories. In regrets. In all the things I should have said and done differently. But I didn't call her back. I didn't apologize. Because I wasn't wrong. A few days later, my daughter called. I almost didn't answer. But curiosity got the best of me. If this is about the inheritance, I started. It's not, she said quickly. I mean, not really. I've been thinking a lot about what happened. And I think I owe you an apology. I waited. I shouldn't have come to you just because I wanted money. That was wrong. I should have reached out years ago. I should have let you explain what happened with Mom. I should have, I don't know, been a better daughter. Okay, I was wondering if you'd be willing to give me another chance. I know I don't deserve it, but I'd really like to have you at my wedding. If you're willing to come. I was stunned. You want me at your wedding? Yeah, I do. I know I screwed up, but I'd like to try to fix things. If you're willing. Part of me wanted to say no, to tell her it was too late, that she burned that bridge. But another part of me, the part that spent 8 years hoping for exactly this, couldn't bring myself to do it. Can I think about it? I said, of course. Take all the time you need. We hung up. I spent the rest of the day thinking about it. I talked to my friends. Most of them said I should go, that it couldn't hurt, that maybe she was being genuine this time. One of them said, what if this is just another way to get on your good side? What if she's just trying to manipulate you into giving her the money eventually? I thought about that too. But here's the thing. If I say no and she never reaches out again, I'll always wonder if I made the right choice. And if I say yes and she does turn out to be manipulating me, at least I'll know I tried. So I called her back. I told her I'd come to the wedding. She sounded genuinely happy, relieved. She thanked me about 5 times. I'm not in the wedding party. I'm just a guest, which is fine. I understand that. We haven't spoken in 8 years. I'm not expecting her to ask me to walk her down the aisle, but I'm going. And maybe this is the start of something, a way back to having a family. Or maybe I'm being naive. Maybe she's just playing the long game, trying to get on my good side so that eventually, down the line, I'll give her the money anyway. I don't know. I honestly don't know, but I'm going to find out. The wedding is in 3 months. I already bought a suit. I've been practicing what I'll say if people ask how I know the bride. I'm her father feels weird after all this time, but it's the truth. I am nervous, excited, terrified, all at once. Part of me wishes I could talk to my mom about this. She always knew what to say. She'd tell me if I was making the right choice. But she's gone, and I'm on my own, so I'm taking a leap of faith. I'm choosing to believe that my daughter is being genuine, that she really does want to rebuild our relationship, that this isn't just about money. And if I'm wrong, if this all blows up in my face, at least I'll know I tried. At least I'll know I didn't give up on her, even if she gave up on me.
Catch you again soon.